So by now, I'm pretty sure that if you keep up with politics, that you know that we had the Al Smith dinner. And what the Al Smith dinner is, it is a place for the presidential candidates where they kind of come together. It's for Catholic charities, basically what it is. And this has been going on, I think, since the 20s, if I'm not mistaken. And what it is a place for the candidates to come together, and they kind of get a chance to jab, to spar back and forth with each other without all the political bullshit that comes with it. It's just, a place where you can make fun of your candidate or actually whoever else is there. It's kind of like a charity roast.
Yeah.
And of course, this is tradition for presidents to go to this. And the last president that missed this was Walter Mondale, and I think in 1984. And can't say as I don't blame him because his candidacy was pretty much on the skids, and he shouldn't even have been a candidate at that point because, nobody was voting for Mondale until now. And then until now when Kamala Harris finally decides she's going to skip the Al Smith dinner, which to me is an embarrassment because one thing you got to understand about Kamala Harris, if she doesn't like what's going on, she just simply, skips it.
Yeah, yeah.
Meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel when he came in, everybody met with him, but Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she skipped out. So if Kamala Harris doesn't like it, she just simply skips out. So that's something you might want to think about before you cast a vote for Kamala Harris, because if things go wrong in the big boy's office, then if she doesn't like it, then hell, we'll just skip out. If they drop a few nukes, it's okay.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't like what they're going to say, so I'm just simply not going to show up. And that seems to be Kamala's MO. But as you know, Kamala Harris has been on this media blitz as of late, and it's pretty much been a disaster for the Harris campaign. And I was going to do one on the Fox News interview, but we were having some serious technical difficulties that day, and I did not get to shoot that video. But it's pretty funny because at the end of the video, you got Brett Baer sitting there, and he's like, hey, they're motioning for me. We got to go. Well, that was Kamala Harris's handlers. They were stopping the interview because she was tanking, and she was doing the normal Kamala Harris. When she doesn't know the answer, she gives you the Kamala word salad, which is absolutely fantastic, or Donald Trump.
Everything was a reverse to him.
Everything. It didn't matter what it was. It was Donald Trump.
Yeah, what is your opinion on this? Well, Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everything she did came back to Donald Trump. So unfortunately, I did not get to shoot that video because I was looking forward to that because we were going to have a lot of fun with that one.
Now, she did make an appearance.
Well,
at the dinner.
Yeah. Well, Trump shows up in his tuxedo, and Kamala Harris, well, she sends in a video. Very tasteless, very classless.
It was supposed to be funny.
And it was not. It
did not go over how she wished it had.
No, it was absolutely cringe. Just like the last video she did, Real Men for Kamala Harris.
Oh, gosh.
That absolute turd of a video that they put out there for her. And but here again, her excuse was that she is in the battleground states because for the first time since this started, Kamala Harris is now down across the board, even in the swing states.
Yeah.
And I said this in my last video, Kamala Harris is here. She's getting no more votes. Whoever's going to vote for her, that's decided. And from this point on, all she can do is this, and that's exactly what she's doing. And Donald Trump is still gaining votes because he did the town hall for women, and they interviewed some women afterwards. And one of the women said, you know what? It was nothing that I expected. I was not voting for him when I walked in because all I've heard the media say is that he's a threat to democracy. He's Hitler.
He's a racist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we go to the town hall, and he's none of that.
Right.
And during that town hall, she actually changed her mind, and now she's going to vote for Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris could not do that. Kamala Harris could not do that.
No.
Had the impromptu phone call.
Sorry.
You ever notice that, totally off topic, but you can carry your phone around for 32 hours and nobody call you.
Yep.
Until you go to the bathroom.
What?
As soon as you go in the bathroom, everybody and their mom starts calling and texting you.
I don't call you. I just send you a million videos.
A million videos from Reels.
That are hilarious.
Yeah, I do not get that, because as men, we take that extended bathroom time. And I don't get that piece in there because I'm like, no, bring, reel. Okay, no, bring, reel. And I'm like, oh my God. No, bring, reel.
Well, so speaking of stupid, ridiculous, annoying things, her video.
Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Well, luckily, when I was in the bathroom, you didn't send me that because I would have just gotten sick while I was in there.
No, we watched that one together
watched
in the
that one
car.
together. So a little off topic, but now let's get back to point. So what we're going to do is we're going to play some of the highlights. A little bit from Donald Trump. Goes to the Al Smith dinner, absolutely kills it.
He did a great job.
Funny.
I mean, regardless, because there were several people that I think did not want to like him and you could see their responses around him even.
Yeah, you have to remember that all these people sitting around Donald Trump on this little clip we're going to
Democrats.
show hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate him. And so he's going to do a little spiel right here, and it's actually great. He kills it. Donald Trump is a very funny guy. Oh, but one more thing. I think the real reason Kamala Harris did not show up, there's two things. I got to say this before we get going. First off, no teleprompters.
But she was giving him a hard time because he apparently wanted them, but she used her entire little monologue.
Yes. So no teleprompters, and we know what Kamala Harris does when she gets off teleprompter. She's liable to say anything. She is liable to say anything. Second thing is...
she didn't know what accent to use.
Well, okay, so that's three things. That's a good one. I didn't think about that. Kamala Harris supports abortion in the first, second, and third trimester. It's kind of hard to sit in a room full of Catholics when Kamala Harris, my kid's giving me trouble. Well, Kamala Harris, how old is he? He's 17. Abort him.
Oh, now.
She'll do abortions up to 38 years old.
Oh, my
She
goodness.
doesn't care. So it's kind of hard to sit in a room full of Catholics when you're such an advocate for abortion. And obviously the Catholic stance is, pro-life.
Yes.
So, and I think those are the two reasons. But let's go ahead and get this fired off. And here we go. We're going to start this with Donald Trump. Absolutely kills it in the room. So watch this and get ready to laugh.
Like cash, lots of cash. But many of you are Manhattan liberals from the media and the Democrat Party. I always say the Democrat, Chuck doesn't like that. He likes Democratic. And it sounds much more beautiful, the Democratic Party. I always say the Democrat Party because it sounds worse. It is true. He likes Democratic. Why don't they just change the name? This way, it is Democrat. But I must say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy. We would recognize it any place in this room, and all polls are indicating I'm leading big with the Catholic vote, as I should be. But I don't think Kamala has given up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer.
That is awesome.
That's not a pretty sight. But Catholics, please don't be too insulted by Kamala's absence. If the Democrats, he says, thank you very much, I appreciate it. If Democrats really wanted to have someone not be with us this evening, they would have just sent Joe Biden. He's having second thoughts, you know that, right? He wants to come back. If she does any worse in the polls, they're going to bring him back again, I think. Chuck, he's going to do it. He's the one that got him out. That's the guy. Much more so than Crazy Nancy, I will tell you, because I know him. He did it. Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right? Fake. That term wasn't good. They say that term is no longer in vogue because it's much worse than fake. I don't want to tell you what the real name is. I won't do it because all those cameras would shut off immediately. They don't like that. But apparently Joe didn't think it was fair for me to have the podium to myself with Kamala skipping the event. So he called, looked at me, and said, don't. Does anybody understand that? Yeah. I thought it was actually very good until just now. It was announced this morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity, Joe told Barack Hussein Obama that, quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack Hussein Obama, quote, she's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that? And Obama agreed, saying, that's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well. Right? Nobody got that one. The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together two coherent sentences, who seems to have mental faculties of a child, it's said. There's a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris. Get on to something.
So that kind of gives you an idea of what was going on at the Al Smith dinner with Donald Trump, which, I mean, the guy killed it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he killed it. He absolutely killed it. And so, of course, when it comes time to Cammie to step up and do her spiel. So when it comes time for Cammie to step up and do her spiel, of course, Cammie's a no-show. So what she does is Kamala. Is it Kamala or Kamala?
I've heard both. But
Kamala.
I think it's Kamala.
Kamala.
Because they
Hell,
call
I
her
don't know.
Mamala, remember?
Oh, my God. That's the worst thing in the world.
It is, but she
Mamala.
used it in her thing. And I
So
thought,
stupid.
it's stupid. She'll try and get away from it. No, she used it in her little video monologue.
It is Kamala. Cammie. I call her Cammie. It is Cammie Harris. So here we go. So instead of Kamala or Cammie or Kamala, whatever the hell her name is, so instead of Kamala popping up and doing what she should do as a presidential candidate, because this is what presidential candidates do at the Al Smith dinner every time we have an election. Well, everybody except Kamala Harris.
Your Eminence and distinguished guests, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when
Now, it's such an important tradition.
She's not going to bother to be there. And
I'm nervous,
so I wonder if the clip just doesn't have the audio of no one laughing at any of the jokes, or if no one's laughing.
Oh, no.
at any of
This
the
is
jokes.
live. This is live.
But I mean, you never hear bah, ha, ha,
No,
in the background.
Well,
Nothing.
because it's a very cringeworthy video. It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's borderline stupid. And whoever wrote this, I guess it was the people at SNL who wrote this and thought it was going to be funny, and they failed miserably. But no, this is live. Nobody's laughing. Nobody's doing anything because it's just not good.
Yeah.
fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
So did they pay for that?
I guarantee you they paid a lot of money for that.
So this is from House of Dragons, streaming on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And by the way, Nissan has the new kick out available to you for only $24,000. I mean, how shameless of a plug was that?
It was odd.
And as we know, HBO is just, I mean, a full-on Democrat, full-on woke, full-on liberal, not what it used to be.
Maybe they just did it to get her to say it.
I don't know.
Free advertisement.
I thought that was very tasteless at the Al Smith dinner. I think that's very tasteless. At anything, you're a presidential contender.
Well, I mean, she's trying to be funny. Like you said before, they're supposed to be humorous. She just is not.
She's not. Absolutely not.
Nope, not.
Let's continue on.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also, one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Mamala.
Thank you.
Oh, the Mamala thing.
Your Eminence and distinguished guest, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship and come together to do some good by supporting the tremendous.
All right, that's enough of that. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it is. But I think, like I said, the lack of any response from anybody in the audience, surely you would hear something.
Well, yeah, even if they had they can't have all the mics shut off in the room. But there's not a whisper, but irregardless of that, I said irregardless.
I know.
Irregardless of that, which is not a word. So I'm going to use it again. Irregardless of that, it wasn't funny.
No.
It was stupid. It was disrespectful.
It was.
And, if she has time to make a video and to go on this media blitz, you think she could carve out, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes maybe to go to the Al Smith dinner just to say that she was there.
Yeah. Show up for dessert.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do all the time. People invite us to dinner. We get there just in time for dessert. We gobble that shit down and we're out the door. Good to see y'all. We got to go. And it was absolutely terrible. And it's embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for the Kamala Harris campaign, especially after the absolute disastrous Fox News interview.
Yeah. It didn't help.
No, it didn't help at all. And if you haven't seen the Fox News interview, you got to see that because it was an absolute disaster for the Harris camp. It was not funny. Well, of course, that wasn't funny.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to. Well, it was funny to the fact that it was.
She was very aggressive.
Which is fine.
She got very. No, I mean,
no, she got angry.
She got mad.
Yeah, see, she didn't get these questions in advance like she does everywhere else.
Right.
And,
and he kept pressuring her.
And she had on the same pearl earrings.
I
So,
know.
apparently, there was interference. She couldn't hear what the answers were, and that's why she was so off that night. The little earring the battery was dead. They forgot to, charge it with their little USB port to.
Now, people might not know what you're saying. Supposedly, you can find it online that those were like receiver,
Yeah, those were earpieces where
earpieces.
they could tell her the answers.
Supposedly
During the debate. Personally, I don't believe that, of course. But it was the same earrings. And just, when you look at it from that standpoint, as bad as that interview went at Fox News, maybe the earrings were broken. Maybe they were broken. So this is the Al Smith dinner. And like I said, it's very disappointing that Kamala Harris didn't show up because think of how much more fun it would have been had Kamala Harris shown up to this.
Yeah.
Because it's more fun to roast somebody live.
And she didn't even jokingly try to rib against Donald Trump. The only thing she said essentially was, you tell them who you are. Nothing funny about it.
No, and the Al Smith dinner is not the place to try to take the high road.
Well, it wasn't even the high road. People are joking. Jim Gaffigan did a very long speech there. It's meant to be funny.
And don't forget, he is a diehard Democrat.
Yeah.
And he ragged on Kamala Harris for not showing up.
He did. Oh, I think all of them. Yeah. I'm sure.
Embarrassing.
Well, it was. But what concerns me more is that, because her people had to say, listen, if you don't go, you're going to catch all sorts of grief for this. But them on the same, to turn around and say, but it'll be worse if you do go.
Her peeps.
It'll be even worse if she does go. So maybe we'll just take the flack for her not going rather than risk her going and making it even worse.
Yeah, making a bigger fool of herself than what she already is.
Yeah.
All right, so we wanted to get this knocked out just so you could see what was going on at the Al Smith dinner. If you were not aware of what was actually happening there, this should give you an idea of what's going on. And like I said, this was an absolute fail for the Kamala Harris campaign. My personal belief is her campaign is slowly but surely hitting the tanker. She's polling down everywhere, and since this started, this is the first time Donald Trump has been ahead across the board, even in the Vegas odds makers. They've not got Trump ahead.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting. 2 more weeks, a little over 2 weeks, and it's going down. So if you haven't voted, make sure you get out and vote. For whoever you're voting for, make sure you get out and vote.
That's right. Just do your job.
Yeah, do what you want to do. And we're going to wrap it up right there. So hope to see you next time.